Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and very good afternoon. First and foremost, let's start our session with the recitation of Ummul Kitab Al-Fatiha. Jazakumullahu khairan. Welcome to session 8 of the CPS Postgraduate Unified Research Methodology series. It's my pleasure to be your moderator for today's session. My name is Akram, a PhD student of CPS IIUM, and I am truly honored to guide this session featuring our distinguished professor. On behalf of the CPS, we are grateful for your participation in this virtual event via Zoom from various places around the globe. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Today's session promises to be an insightful discussion on breaking boundaries, generative AI, its application, and way forward. Artificial intelligence has been a game changer in many fields, and generative AI in particular is opening up groundbreaking opportunities and challenges for researchers and practitioners alike. Before we proceed, let me share some housekeeping announcements. First, please ensure your microphone is muted during the presentation to avoid background noises. Secondly, if you have any questions for our speaker, kindly drop them in the Zoom chat box. We will address them during the Q&A session at the end. Now, let me introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Professor Dr. Akram Muhammad Zaki Muhammad Khedher. He is a professor and coordinator of Kulia of Information Communication Technology, IIUM. He earned his Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science at University Technology Malaysia, UTM. His master was Master of Science in Computing Imaging at University Putra Malaysia, UPM. His Bachelor's of Science was in Physics at University of Jordan. Currently, Dr. Akram Muhammad Zaki is a professor at Kulia of Information and Communication Technology at IIUM. He held a few administration positions such as a coordinator for postgraduate studies at the Faculty of Information and Communication Technology, and then head of research in the same faculty, and then held a position as a deputy director of Centris and acting director as well. He supervised more than 30 masters and PhD students and leads a few research grants under the university and national and international grants. Professor Akram has more than 10 books and over 155 publications in Scopus and more than 45 book chapters. Besides that, he received a few awards from university and national level. He is an editor of Journal of Science and Technology and the International Journal of Islamic Application in Computer Science and Technology. Professor Akram is a senior member of Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers and a trustee member of International Computing Institute of Quran and Islamic Sciences. MashaAllah. Okay, without further ado, I now invite Professor Dr. Akram Muhammad Zaki to begin his presentation. Welcome, Prof.
Thank you very much, Brother Akram, for this briefing. جزاكم الله خير. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. At the beginning, I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to CPS for organizing this session and for inviting me to deliver a talk to our beloved students. It's a pleasure to be with you today for another session on generative AI. This topic is important today. That's why we are going to explore more. For those who attended my first session about 6 months ago, today's talk will build upon that discussion. Generative AI is a vast topic, and one session is certainly not enough to cover its many dimensions. I will begin my presenting my slides, followed by Q&A session. Please feel free to write your questions in the chat area during the presentation, and we will address them, inshallah, afterward. So please allow me to share my screen. And,
yes, CPS, please. Hello. Oh.
Yes, okay. Now I think it's available now. And as Brother Akram introduced the topic, breaking boundaries, generative AI, its application, and way forward. This is basically what we are going to explore today. So, why this workshop? Let me start from here. This workshop is designed to introduce you to the exciting world of generative AI and its impact on academic work. I believe all of you are postgraduate students. You are doing a lot of research, publications. Let us explore how can AI help us in this regards. We will explore how AI tools can help researchers save time, improve efficiency, and enhance the quality of their work. From simplifying literature review to supporting data analysis and academic writing, generative AI opens new possibilities in research. Usually, I start with basic introduction about AI. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science. It involves developing computer programs to complete tasks which would otherwise require human intelligence. So try basically to follow a human intelligence, how human beings think. AI is used in many ways within the modern world, from personal assistant, which is very popular nowadays, like Alexa, to self-driving car. Nowadays, Tesla is more popular here in Malaysia. Artificial intelligence is evolving rapidly. How AI has changed in academia. Artificial intelligence started with simple programs that could do tasks like basic problem solving. This is how usually AI try to solve the problem, basic solving, basic programming, implementation to find a result, face recognition, fingerprinting, voice recognition, and so on. Over years, AI has become much smarter and more useful, especially for researchers. Today's advanced generative AI can help researchers write, edit, and review their work faster than ever. I am sure that many of our students are used AI almost every day, because based on my simple research, I found almost most of the students are familiar with ChatGPT and other tools as well. Now, very basic comparison between usual program, traditional program, and AI. You know, in basic programming, in the traditional program, we have a data and we have a model, algorithm, and the computer will follow the model, the algorithm, and get the result. In AI, is different scenario. In AI, we have a data and we have the result or expected result. So the AI algorithm will try to develop the model first, and then apply this model to get a new result. So we don't have a model, we don't have a formula, we don't have the algorithm at the beginning, but the AI will try to generate the model first. After that, we use this model to generate a new data. Actually, AI is not new. The term artificial intelligence was there since 1950s. And the models also, the algorithms are also established some time ago. Since last few decades, the algorithm was there. Of course, there are some improvement always. So since 1950s, I remember in 1997, the blueprint chess was released, and then recently many applications, and then the ChatGPT make the bomb in the last few years. And started 2018, the training, and then the release of ChatGPT 3 in 2020, and 3.5 in 2022, and then in this year 4, and expected 5 to come very soon. So is artificial general intelligence possible? The answer is clearly positive, as the scientists dedicated their full attention to the development of a true AI. So these are some examples of tools. There are 3 categories in general about AI tools: vertical, horizontal, and infrastructure. For vertical tools, usually is industry specific, very specific for a specific job. For example, in let us say in civil engineer, let us say in economy, in healthcare. So industry specific applications. Horizontal AI tools for a general purpose, too many people making use of them, like what we have in chatbots. In many websites, they have a chatbots, like data analysis. So this is considered horizontal AI tools. Infrastructure, this is usually for the programmer, for the developer, for the designer. They need to make use of some infrastructure in the cloud, usually to train the data, to get a result, and so on. These are, as you can see, in 2025, we have many tools, very popular nowadays in different applications, in chatbots, like ChatGPT is very popular in design, in video, in content, in presentation, productivity, coding, meeting. All these tools use AI to facilitate the applications. So now, what is the generative AI? Generative AI is a branch of artificial intelligence that involve using algorithm to create original content. So now you can see the difference between traditional AI and generative AI. Now, generative AI is trying to generate a new novel content, novel data that was not exist before. This type of AI can generate content that is not copied or replicated from existing data, but produce something entirely new. So if we do a simple comparison about traditional AI, which is available in the past, in the last few decades, and generative AI that is released recently, traditional AI try to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. We give some example about voice recognition and the translation, by the way, the Google translation, this is part of AI. Grammarly, that our student making use of it, this is part. Actually, the search in Google, how they prioritize the result, how they find the similar data, this is, they use AI, but this is considered traditional AI. So specific tasks such as classification, prediction, decision-making, based on predefined rules or pattern, learn from data. Try to get a feature extraction, find a pattern, and implement this pattern. Many algorithms like machine learning algorithm, natural language processing, computer vision models, and so on. So this kind of traditional AI, they don't generate entirely new data. While in generative AI, it's a subset of AI focused on creating new data that is similar to existing data. Similar. So this is also later on we will discuss what's the difference between a human being and generative AI. So the new data generated by generative AI is similar to existing data. It's not 100% novel. So generative AI models learn the underlying pattern. Generative AI models are capable of creativity and can produce novel content in various forms like images, text, music, videos, so in different fields and different applications. So generative AI works by training on large data set. This is how we start. We should have a data set, a huge data set. So now you may ask me, since AI was not new, so why generative AI just released? Because the new thing that the data set, 20 years ago, we don't have a data set like now. Now we have a huge data collected from internet. Last 20 years ago, we don't have this huge data. And another thing is the GPU. 20 years ago, we don't have this very fast processing. So generative AI use machine learning techniques, learn pattern, structure, and feature from the training data, and then use that knowledge to create a new content. There is one term became more popular nowadays, which is the hallucination. This is, if you search in Wikipedia, I search in this term in Wikipedia, this term is a response generated when the response of generative AI contains false or misleading presented as a fact. You search in the ChatGPT, they may get result for you as a fact, but is 100% incorrect. This is called hallucination. This word, by the way, it's an Arabic word as well. If you came across halwasa. Okay. So in the last few years, generative AI users growth. As you can see, in 2020, 4 years ago, we have only about 20 millions, and then followed by next year 60 millions, 150 in 2022, 2023 about 350 millions, nowadays 600 millions, I believe by beginning of next year, another 1.5 months from now, this number will be double. So what about the applications of generative AI? It can be used in many applications. In education, like personalized learning experience, especially to help those having difficulties in learning. AI tutor, content creations, language learning tools like Duolingo and so on. In healthcare, drug discovery, medical imaging, AI-powered diagnostic, AI creative industries like AI in art, music, writing, and so on. In business, like in automation, in product design. Many of our cars actually designed by AI. That's why you can see the similarities between cars. This one different companies, but how come the shape is look like same? Because they use the same tool. Is science in science and research accelerating discoveries, simulating scientific phenomena, enhancing computational model, and so on. These are just example of the applications. Now, how AI can assist in research, because this is the important for our postgraduate students. In many aspects, you know, the research, we have literature review, we have data collections, we have data interpretation, streamlining, experiment design, writing, editing, enhancing collaboration, find a researcher working in the same area, security, ethical consideration need to be always considered, and we need always to remind. So in the literature review, what AI can do? Using AI to identify key papers. The papers are related because why? Sometimes the paper, they don't use the exact keywords that you are looking for, but they use something similar. The same concept, but different keywords, different words, still considered under the same category. So the AI can help. Trending topics, finding gaps in the existing research. So AI can help you. AI-powered tools like Semantic Scholar can quickly search through vast database to find relevant literature. Similar topics as well as similar data. You are searching for a database from internet and so on. Tools like Research Rabbit help in organizing and categorizing research papers based on different categories, based on the classification of papers, the clustering, labeling, the research, and so on. So what about the data collection and analysis? AI can automate the collection of data from different sources. Last time we need to collect the data manually or by using some other tools. Nowadays, for example, the visitors of such websites, what they are doing in that website, the activities in that website, all these data will be collected automatically and save time and reduce the error. AI tools can pre-process, clean, and structure raw data from analysis. So if we have a data can clean, remove the noise. This is what we do in the voice and images, as well as in the text, removing the noise like RapidMiner. Some of ICT students may use it in the course like information retrieval. AI can perform complex statistical analysis and generate visualization. Visualization is important to find overall structure of the data and analyze the data overall. What else? In data interpretation, AI also can help us, can analyze text data, extract meaningful insight. So sometimes the data, we need to get what is the insight, such as sentiment analysis or topic modeling, like what we do in the natural language processing. We try to find the meaning, what's behind it. AI excel at recognizing pattern and trends within data that may not be immediately apparent to human researchers. So sometimes we cannot see that there is a pattern here, but AI can help us for pattern recognition. AI also can identify outliers in dataset, which can be crucial for ensuring data integrity. What else? In the streamlining the experiment design, AI also can help us to design and optimize experiment by predicting outcomes and suggesting improvement. This is in the optimization. Also, AI, using AI to model complex system and test hypotheses before conducting a physical experiments to allow for simulation. So you can see that AI can help us from data collection, literature review, and data analysis, and also for writing and editing assistant. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Grammarly, but nowadays, of course, ChatGPT can do similar job. AI tools can help improve the grammars, style, readability of research paper, enhance the language, make it more formal, make it academic, make it basic, simple, and so on. We will see, we'll explore some of the tools and try to find out how to make use of these tools to enhance our research. Use AI to detect plagiarism and ensure originality, like plagiarism check, like Turnitin. Turnitin, actually, they use AI in the model. AI can assist in generating summaries, abstract, and even suggesting references. Actually, many of the research tools, they use AI long time ago to generate keywords. That's why they, for those are familiar with submitting papers to some international high impact journals, they generate keywords on your behalf. They have author keywords and computer generated keywords from the paper, because sometimes the author write very popular, not very important keywords, so the system generate the keywords from that paper. This is also AI tools. What else? Enhancing collaboration and networking, like what we have in ResearchGate and academia. They try to explore and suggest similar interest and facilitate collaboration among researchers in the same field. They suggest papers for you, they suggest researcher, they suggest collaboration, potential collaboration based on research interest. Somebody else working in the same area, they use the same tools. So they try to link between researcher and academia. So now let us explore some of the tools one by one and discuss the benefit and advantage of using these tools. So we start from ChatGPT, which is very popular nowadays, is an AI language model developed by OpenAI, designed to understand and generate a human-like text based on input used of various applications like chatbot, content generation, and language understanding task. So example, you see, I wrote a very simple example in ChatGPT. Please continue the following sentence. I went to my class and, so the system continue, found it empty. I repeated the same question. I went to my class and the system continued, meet my professor. I repeated the question. I went to my class and sat down quietly. And then I repeated again and again. So you will find different result. In UData, this is traditional programs, traditional model. They use, always you will find the same result. Since the same input, that means same output. But now we can see same input, different output. Entirely new result. Was not exist before. Another, I repeated the question again. Please continue the following sentence in 2-3 words. I went to CPS IIUM and registered successfully. This is the ChatGPT continued this sentence. I repeated the question. I went to CPS IIUM and attended the seminar. Again, I repeated the question. I went to CPS and submitted my document. So all the answer was generated by ChatGPT. Another question I asked ChatGPT, Donald Trump has won the US election for a second time. What message would you like to share with him? So the ChatGPT generated message for me. If I had the opportunity to share a message with President Trump following his re-election, I would emphasize the importance of unity and so on. I repeated the same question, but I mentioned in 2 lines. What do you want to advise him? So the answer was focus on uniting a diverse nation through fairness and compassion. Prioritize global peace and so on. I repeated the same question, but I mentioned, imagine you are Dr. Tun Mahadir. What do you want to advise him? Mr. President, leadership is a trust. Use your power to bridge divides and build partnership for policies that uphold justice and benefit not only America, but the global community. Why I ask this question? Because I want our student to learn how to use ChatGPT. Not simply ask very general question. This is another question that I ask ChatGPT. Please assume the role of sociologist inspired by Ibn Khaldun. Introduction, and deliver a brief piece of advice to elementary school students about the importance of study. So you can see now the message, I want the message to be for primary school, for children. That means the message should be basic, simple. This is one. Also for the field of sociology, and also not a general sociology, but inspired by Ibn Khaldun Muqaddimah. So now the message is, dear student, Ibn Khaldun, a wise thinker from long ago, once said that knowledge is the foundation of civilization and the key to progress. He taught us that learning is not just about memorizing fact, it is about understanding the world around us and shaping a better future. Just as a plant needs water to grow, your mind needs knowledge to flourish. You see, now when you ask the question to ChatGPT, you try to make it more specific so you can get better result. Imagine you are a scholar based on Shafi'i madhab and inspired by Al-Ummah book. So that means now you want the result to be based on Shafi'i, based on a specific book or specific directions. So the result will be more focused, will be more meaningful than asking very general questions. So now let me move. But we should remember something. Because this is a generative AI, the answer see here is very general. Don't ask very specific question to ChatGPT. For example, who is the first president of US? Who is the first author of this article? When was the first car produced? This kind of a question, you need to be careful and double check the result. Last time I asked my student about one topic, about to write some simple assignment about one field, and I asked them, who is give me few Muslim scholars that working in this area. Believe me, about the disaster that they wrote in their assignments, because they rely on ChatGPT 100%, and the name they give me is not related to that area. The name of some scholars, but not under this information security and cybersecurity. Somebody working in entirely in different field. So that's why when you ask specific question, give me the name of a scholar in this domain, he may give you, he may generate a new content, which is not real. That's why we discussed at the beginning about hallucination. Another tools, which is the consensus. These tools about literature research. This one basically a new breed of academic search engine powered by AI, grounded in science, find the best papers while getting instant insight. So now I will show the slides later on. After I finish my presentation, I will show you the tool in the browser. But now I copied the result here because for easy presentation. Of course, in this website, you can have some filtration based on year, based on method, based on the type of journals, based on domain. So let us say here, how can I make my student more engaged in learning? So this is the result I wrote in the search engine of this website. So they give me many websites. Of course, this is for a free account. I don't have access to too many research, for limited research only. So I got new papers related, very related to this topic. Of course, this result better than ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, I am not sure whether this paper, if I ask the ChatGPT about the paper, I am not sure if this paper exists or no. So I need to double check. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe in this domain or maybe no, because how this generative AI works, sometimes I need to double check. So this tool, they show me some website with some features, and then they also summarize the result of the top 10 papers. You can see here the summary of the 10 papers with the references is written here for 10 papers, with introduction, with conclusion, with related search. What are the, for example, related search, what are the most effective strategies for increasing student engagement in online learning environment? This is a related search. And also, as I show you, key insight with some active learning and cognitive effort with some references here online and synchronized learning and so on. So these are some options of available in these tools. Ask the paper, share the paper, copy the summary, copy the link, and also they show you for each paper how many citation, and you can download in different format and so on. Another tool, data exploration, knowledge map, studio.albus.org. This website is also AI-powered platform designed to facilitate knowledge exploration and content creation. This platform enables users to create idea boards where they can add notes, image, and even a question and so on. This is example that I created. You ask first one question: what is the generative AI? This is the question that I ask. So they show me what is the generative AI. And then I ask, from there, I ask another question. What the type of generative AI? And then I ask the summary of this message. I will show you the tool after this because this is just a short screen. I put it here in the slide, but later on I will show you the tools. How does it look? But as you can see here is knowledge mapping. Now, so it can help us to summarize, can help us to link, can help us to, from the one question, I ask another question. So you can make use of it, especially for the presentation and so on. Another tool, which is the connected papers. This website provides tool for exploring and visualizing academic papers and their relationship. So this is the website, explore connected papers in a visual graph. This is some description from the website. I copy and paste here. You can use connected paper to get a visual overview, make sure that you have not missed any important paper, and so on. So now, if you search for something, like for example, I search for information retrieval. So they show me some papers related. And for each paper, they link to Google Scholar or DOI, or also some of them, the PDF is available. Depend if this is an open access journal or conference. And also you can see the first icon. This is for connected papers. Now let us choose one paper. Like for example, this one, a large language model for information retrieval, a survey. So they show me the summary of the paper and all different papers that cited this paper, as well as the references of this paper. So now from here, I can see the connection between papers. I can see the highest citation papers, because now I have a list of papers related to my search and which paper has high citation and so on. This is another one. When you click to another paper, so you go to another, for example, this is active retrieval augmented generation. So you can see another video. This is the list of all papers that related to my search, which the site with citation, year, references, similarity to the original, because the first one is large language model, so that's why the 100%, but then the others are maybe some, they have some similarities, 19% similarities, and so on. So now I have a connection between papers. I know the most relevant papers to me, or and with the high citation and so on. Let us move to another tools. Coolboot. This one for grammars and prephrasing. Is good for writing and prephrasing tool. Use AI to help users rewrite, rephrase text to improve clarity, and so on. So you can see here many tools under this in applications for prephrase, for grammar checker, for plagiarism check, for AI detector, summarizing, citation, translation, and so on. Now let us explore. Now I copy and paste the summary of the previous search. These, when I ask about interactive, how to make my class more interactive, these studies suggest to make a class interesting, can involve using diverse. So you can see this is the text, and now I rephrase, so you can see different text. And also I can choose whether I want to make it more standard, fluency, natural, formal, academic, creative, expand, shortened. I want to make it, I want to expand the text to make it bigger, or I want to make it shorter, or custom. How short, how long? So I can use this tool for this purpose. Example. Now you see now is shortened. So this text I make it shorter. So you can see here I have almost 7 lines, but the result is 5 lines. And or I make it expand. So 7 now became 9. Or I make it academic, more academic. So you can see to enhance student engagement in learning, instructor should use active learning techniques and so on. Or I make it formal. Educator should implement classroom-based engagement practices, and so on. you can see now, because I use another function under this website, which is the plagiarism check. So I copy just now the congratulations to Donald Trump, the message that I generated by ChatGPT. I put it here for plagiarism check, and the match was 0. So that means this is what? 100% new. 100% new content. So, so no plagiarism at all. 0 match. 0% match. Because this is generated by AI. So it was not exist anywhere else. But I tested again for AI detector. They give me 100% text is likely AI generated. So based on this, although I use different tools, just now I use ChatGPT, but now this one, Coolbot, but they detected that this message was most likely AI generated. So I want you to be careful of using generative AI, not only because there are tools for AI detector, but number one, because of copyright issue, we should not claim of writing something that written by some tools and we claim that this is ours. This is number one. And number two, because there are some tools that may detect. And number three, that you should also know that the generated AI is saved, is used by your result, is actually is input for the generative AI. That means they know that this text was generated. And it can be detected because if you just copy paste, it will be none by the tools that this is copied and you plagiarized from another generative AI. These are some more AI detector. ChatGPT detector, 0, GPT, and copy leaks, and so on. Another tool, which is the chat doc. There is another one called chat PDF, very similar, but chat doc, they allow more type of files, not only PDF. So this chat doc summarize long document, explain complex concept, and find key information in article, thesis, and books. So this is an example of how does it work. So we need to upload paper first, and then chat with the document, chat with the figure inside the paper. What is the new in this figure? What is the summary? What's the new finding in this formula? How was this formula generated? What is this table about? What is the new in this table? What is the comparison between these two things? So this is example. I uploaded a paper, Teachers Trust in AI Powered, and then I wrote the message, what is the new in this paper? Another thing, another paper, this is about integration of AI and machine learning in education. This is, I uploaded by myself. You see here, how I wrote a message, how is this paper related to personalized learning experience? And then I can ask one paragraph or one section. What is the key finding here? Or please summarize the method used in this paper. So you can, as I mentioned, you can ask about one figure only, one section only, one table only. What is the new thing? What's the problem that you are trying to solve, and so on. So now we move to another tool, Avidnot, or previously called Kahubi. Describe your study, and AI generates text, rewrite, analyze data with long list of AI functionalities designed specifically for researchers. Many functions we will find out. Example of the functions, asking very general questions like what we do in ChatGPT, or translation, or ask this text, specific text, or research meeting, or response to email. You have email, you want the tool to respond on your behalf. Or in education, plan my lessons, grade this student, solve this problem. In data, suggest interview question, suggest survey question, analyze data, analyze interview, generate CSV format file, interview, label speakers, code interview, you define how or ground theory, narrative analysis, analyze data with a framework, extract data from a paper, analyze interview. Under publications, research proposal, plan my study, further research, suggest research conference, suggest journal, write a tweet, suggest a title, find ideas for new studies, revise text for a journal submission, proofread this, explain this. What is the opposite view of this? Critique this, summarize text. And for writing new functions, write anything, write literature review, write introduction, write method, write discussion, write result, write conclusion, write abstract, historic overview, rewrite this. For methods, keywords for literature, search, identify research gap, suggest research method, research questions, research hypothesis, paper outline, suggest theoretical framework. So it can help to generate, but of course, the ethical consideration, always we need to remind these tools actually is for assistant, not for replacing the researcher, not for copy and paste, but try to get an ideas, try to get new ideas, try to get the research gap. But at the end, you are the one who should make a decision. Example, my research is about the strategies to make students engage in learning. So now they suggest find idea for new studies. So I choose one of the functions under this website, find ideas for a new study. So they give me a new ideas, exploring the role of emotion in student engagement. And then with some background and some methods. Another one, gamification in education, forecasting engagement through game mechanism, also with some explanation. Or some more, collaborative learning, impact of technology integration. So, and many others. I just copy here for examples. So you can see now new ideas about some specific topic. What about research proposal? Research proposal, I wrote some idea about the research, and then they created full proposal for me. But again and again, this one should not be copied and submitted to your supervisor. This one for you as a assisting tools. And then you need to go through, you need to check, you need to read, remove, add, because sometimes what you are looking for is not exactly like this. And don't just copy and submit it. You can see here in the research proposal, the background, the research, the objectives of the research, to assess the emotional status, to explore, to identify potential strategies, the method, also the methodology, qualitative and quantitative research was suggested. But so you need to make sure which one you are going to use, because this is just a suggestion for a proposal. But you need to go through, you need to read carefully and change based on your plan. Don't copy paste. Believe me, it will not help you when you copy paste. Data analysis, significance of the study, conclusion, and so on. Another function under this website, suggest interview question. So now we want to do, I want to know the readiness of use BI, business intelligence, in SME, small medium enterprise in Malaysia. So this was my question, and then suggest a interview question. So now I got a few interview questions about this area, this domain. How familiar are you with the concept of business intelligence? What is your perception of the potential benefit that BI can bring to small and medium-sized enterprise? And so on. You can see now is a example, is a suggestions of interview questions. You need to go through, you need to modify, you need to change and develop carefully. Another tools that I try always to promote, which is Ansari.chat. You know, in the generative AI, we need to be careful with verses of Quran and Hadith. This tool, actually they use ChatGPT, but for Quranic verses and Hadith, they get the verses of Quran from another source to make sure that the Quranic verses and Hadith are accurate. How related to your search? This is another stories, maybe is not very related, but at least the verses written here is correct. For example, please suggest a few Quranic verses or Hadith related to mental health. So they suggested few verses, a few Hadith that at least this Hadith is taken from authentic source. But maybe how related to mental health, this is of course, the AI job is here, but the verses of Quran is correct. Now, some more tools. I focus now on many tools, but let me go through some other tools. Summarizing and translation YouTube, convert voice to text, delete some parts of the video, solve programming question, creating video using AI, convert text to video, learning English by conversation, convert text to video, remove and change picture, merge videos, translate videos, research assistants. These are some tools, writing content, generate and modify pictures, academic writing supported by references, drawing, mind map, engineering drawing, summarizing research paper, create boot chat, writing comics, preparing training programs, educational simulation techniques, and so on. These are some example of tools are available that you may download and explore by yourself for a specific job. It can help you. These are more designing logos, writing article, commercial content, notes, and slides, and so on. So basically, all these tools, either collaborative research platform or manuscript optimization or publication impact predictions. These are how we can, these are some survey shows that nowadays there is a lot of this survey, half of the newspapers use generative AI tools. Only 20% of them they have a guideline. So many newspapers, they use generative AI for enhancing the articles, for checking the articles, and so on. I think I will, because now already 1 hour, I think at least I will stop for Q&A, and because I have a few more slides, but I think I will stop here for a while. If we have more time, I may
I
proceed
think, Prof.
afterwards. Yeah.
I think, Prof. 5 minutes can.
Okay. So I want to show you some studies that I did by myself with I tried to explore the use of generative AI among students. I ask a few questions, simple survey. Have you ever used any AI tools or system in your daily life? So majority of students, they said yes, 85%. Another question I ask, how would you rate your knowledge of generative AI? So you can see that uh, majority also they are knowledgeable. Only very few they have no knowledge about the generative AI. Another question, have you used AI tools to help with academic assignments? Also majority, 87%, they answered yes. These are what type of AI tools? And for what primary reason do you use AI tools for assignments? What benefit do you believe AI tools bring to your academic work? I want to go through, but what I wanted to show here that many of our students actually they make use of AI, especially generative AI like ChatGPT rapidly. This one, in your opinion, should there be a guideline or using AI tools? And these are some comments of our student. It helped me a lot by giving me ideas. Academic institutions should come up with a standard blueprint using AI. AI help us to understand complex topics. If we search something, it gives good direction to us. We have to lead the AI tools. It makes it so much easier to study hard topics. AI is here to stay. Make student more creative. AI engine are invaluable in the field of education. These are, so basically, what about if you want to do research about AI, generative models for image synthesis in computer vision, human-computer interactions need more research. Speech and audio, natural language processing, ethical consideration, all these topics need more research. Now, I just want to discuss a little bit what is the difference, what AI can do, what cannot do. AI can generate a quick result, scan large database quickly, find mathematical and logical solutions with less error, make decision based on solely objective criteria. What AI cannot do? Generate result in novel situations, entirely new results. Cannot develop own unique insight, think intuitively, engage in social interaction, have emotional intelligence. This, at least until now, the generative AI cannot do. So we need to know the limitation. What about the human being? If we want to compare between ourselves and AI. For literature review, AI is good for automation, automatic search and organization of the literature, while a human being is good for a critical evaluation. For data collection, human being can conduct survey and interview. AI can automate the large scale of data. For data cleaning, handling ambiguous or incomplete data, human being can work with incomplete data, but AI can automate standard data cleaning process. For data analysis, a human being can develop novel analytical method, while AI can perform repetitive statistical analysis. For pattern recognition, AI can identify subtle patterns, while AI can identify pattern in large data set. For hypothesis, formulating research questions based on experience human being can do, while AI can suggest hypotheses based on data pattern. Also, for experimental design, human being is good for innovation, for creativity, while AI is good for optimizing experimental parameters. For writing, a human being is good for crafting narrative for complex ideas, while AI is good for grammar, for plagiarism check. For peer review, human is good for providing constructive, contextual feedback, while AI is good for automated initial review. Ethical decision, human being is good for judgment. For AI is good for ensuring the compliance with ethical guidelines. For collaboration, human being is good for building personal and professional relationship. For AI can identify potential collaboration. Interpretation of result, drawing conclusion, human being is good, especially when we have less number of data. So AI cannot work with a small number of data. Highlighting trends and unusual data points, AI can work better. So finally, ethics in AI is very important. So I want to stop here, but we need to always to take into consideration the ethical issues for copyright issues, plagiarism issue, privacy issue, the security issue, the biasness and fairness of AI, because if the data itself is not fair, is not accurate, definitely the result will not be accurate. If the data is biased, collected from certain place only, from certain time, so the result also will be biased. So you should make sure that there's no bias in the data, so in order to make sure that the result will be more accurate. I think I will stop here and sorry for taking very long time. So, and now we open if any a question and answer. And if we have more time also, I'm happy to, because just now I told you I want to show you the websites itself.
Okay, Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Akram Muhammad Zaki, for that enlightening presentation. You have provided us with a much to reflect on regarding generative AI and its future directions. Now we will open the floor for questions. Please feel free to type your question into the chat box or use the raise hand function if you would like to ask directly. I think already we have some question in the chat box also. Now I will invite Brother Adam Abu Bakr. Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Prof, thank you very much for the knowledge we get early in the morning here from Nigeria. I really came late, but alhamdulillah, I learned a lot, more especially the last or toward the last point you have discussed and shed more light on about the using AI in academic exercises, more especially for students and learners. Really, in this era, most of the emerging researchers and students in tertiary institutions, we are moving to rely on using AI because of simplicity and its assistance in our day-to-day academic exercises. Really, we appreciate having researchers like you to help us with methodologies and some tips in order to know how to use AI to write and modernize our writings without maybe breaching the rules and regulations of academic writing. My question directly to 2 points. Number one, is there any harm in using AI as of now? Generally, one. Secondly, by using AI, if I ask AI and generate some ideas or some data, inputting references, so is there any reliable format for paraphrasing and then putting references manually to that information generated through AI? That is the 2 questions I want to ask, Prof. Thank you very much. And we are grateful having you. And we hope to know when you still reintroduce similar of these webinars. Thank you very much. I am Adamu Abubakar Muhammad from Federal University of KHEDER, Gombe State, Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum.
Shall I answer?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. Regarding the first question, is there any harm of using AI in academia, in research and publications? To use it to assist you, for helping you, so it's fine, there's no harm. But to copy and claim that this is yours, definitely cannot. So you need to be careful about this point. And about the second point, about generating text and rephrasing, and then you try to find some papers to write references. You need to do some efforts, not directly. Don't just generate by AI and rephrase by another tools, and then try to find the random references and just embed the references. In the easy way, we cannot do it. But if you spend some efforts, because AI can help you to improve your language. Sometimes our language is not that so good. So to make it free from error, to make it more formal, and so this is fine to improve the language. And then try to find the references. Maybe the AI can suggest some references, and then you need to make sure that these references are related to you. You go through or summarize or chat with the paper, and then you can refer. Maybe they can suggest some references, and then you need to go through again. Don't blindly copy and paste, please. Believe me, it will not help. It may help for some assignments, but for a long term, it will not help you. You still need to go through and to check by yourself, especially when you search for fact, when you search for some specific information, names, name of book, name of person, name of country, some population, for example. You need to double check and make sure that this is the correct and reliable. So don't blindly copy paste. So it can help you for as assistant tools.
Okay. Is there any question you can ask directly? Or otherwise, we have 2 questions in the chat box, but already mentioned about that. The number one is, if I use AI to generate literature review, will plagiarism tool underline it as an act of stealing or plagiarism? This is a question, Prof. You already mentioned about this.
Yeah, right. I already mentioned, and I show you the tools to detect the AI generated. And you also, you know, this AI generated text is saved somewhere by using the same tools. So that means if you write this text in your thesis, in your report, another 10 years, the same tools, the ChatGPT, will release the all questions that the users ask, and with the result, and then we will find out that your thesis was copied from ChatGPT. So because the data is saved somewhere, the result is saved somewhere. So if you just copy paste, so cannot protect yourself, because this one will be, and of course the data is huge, cannot check manually, but the system can check whether this is from ChatGPT or from other tools and so on. So you need to be careful. Don't put yourself in this situation.
Okay, Prof. There is another question, same like that. Prof, can AI help in looking for potential research gap in the writing of literature review?
Yes, the same tool that we just explore. There's one item about finding gaps. Either you attach a file or you write a text. They will try to find gap in that paper, from that book. So yes, one of the tools that we just explore, it was about finding gaps.
Okay, there is another question in the chat box. If we type verses of Quran and Hadith into Ansari, can it verify them for us or tell us the sources? I sometimes have to spend hours trying to ensure that the Hadiths in my teaching materials are authentic. Is there any tool that can speed up the process?
Of course, the Ansari is supposed to be accurate or in this regards. But double check, especially for Quran. I don't think it's very difficult, because there are many authentic Quranic websites. Just copy and paste the verse, and they will tell you in which surah, in which ayah. So you can just double check that this is correct. Sometimes in our mobile also we have a Quran application, just to double check that this is correct. But should it be reliable? Should it be correct? But just to double check, this is a good, especially for translation, for example, of the verses of Quran. Is better to get from one of the reliable translation. Don't depend on Google translation and ChatGPT translation for Quran, especially. There are few translation standard have been checked and confirmed by some organization like Yusuf Ali, like International Quran Translation, and so on. So you can just copy paste from them, fine. But don't translate by AI for Quran. For Hadith, I check actually by myself. I found that the translation is not bad somehow. And the translation of Hadith, we don't have books standard. For Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim, yes, we have. But in general, other books, not all of them are translated. That's why depending on AI for translating Hadith. But do double check by yourself that the translation is correct.
Okay, another interesting question. How do we make sure we are still exercising our brains and not relying too heavily on AI tools?
This is a very good question. This issue is not new. Last time, when we have our mobiles, we stop memorizing the phone numbers. We are not using the brain for memorizing phone numbers. When not only this, before that, when we use the car, we don't use our body to move a lot. Of course, a lot of issues here, health issues, to not moving our bodies, not making use of our minds. We need to make sure that our mind is always used. If not memorizing the phone number, try to make use of it to memorize Quran. So don't just rely on technology and forget about yourself. So don't forget yourself. Don't forget your health and your mental health. A lot of issues by using technology, not only recently by using AI, but before that also sitting in front of the computer for hours, it can affect our back, our neck, our eyes. So we need to make sure that, for example, I advise students, and in my different talk, I advise them to move every 20 minutes to move 5 minutes, just because sitting in front of the computer is not healthy. So same thing, when we rely on AI, so that means, what about our communication skills, our making use of the brain, our vocabularies? Now, last time the people, they have a lot of vocabularies to for talking. So now if you keep generating text, that's why I mentioned for long term it will not help you. Maybe it's good for a short term, but for long term, you are relying so much on AI. So in one day, somebody give you the mic and ask you a question. How do you feel? What's your opinion? And you used to ask ChatGPT. Now you don't have opportunity to ask ChatGPT in very fast response. So you need to rely on your memory. So if you don't have, so you will be in trouble. So that's why you should not forget yourself and rely so much on AI, and then at the end, it will not help you for long term.
Okay, thank you, Prof. I think we are at the end of this program. For those who are asking for the recorded session, we will upload it to the CPS IIUM YouTube soon. Please stay tuned and check CPS YouTube channel for all unified research methodology session by all the speakers over there. And also those who requesting the slides, maybe Prof, he will share with us to share with participants. I hope so. Alhamdulillah, we have had a truly engaging session today. On behalf of the
Brother Akram, can I have 2 minutes just to share the browser?
Okay.
Okay,
Prof.
Just allow me to share the browser, because I copy the short screen and put it in the slides. For example, this is the ChatGPT about the asking, for example, a message to Donald Trump, and other tools here for consensus. How can I make my student more engagement? You can see here the papers, and you can from here choose any paper. You can click the favorite and so on. And you can also from here, you can see the simple summary. Here also about this mind mapping, I show you how you want to find a summary or ask a question from here. Press here and choose one of the suggested question. I started with one question only: what is the generative AI? And then I came out with many different subtopics. This is the connected papers. And then you can, for each one, you can see the summary, and you see the biggest circle for many citations. This is another one. So it can help us to find the connections. And then you can find, we mentioned about, you can download some papers from here, and then you can refer to some of them available, the PDF files, if this is open access, and then you can log into the papers. And for Coolboot, this is the, for example, expand, creative, simple, rephrase, simple, academic, and formal, You can see these are how we use the tools to make the language more shorter, expand, creative, simple, academic, formal, standard, and so on. This is how we chat with the file, with the document. Choose the one paragraph or image or table and so on. And then you, from this, for example, this table, and then start asking questions. What is the new here? What's the finding of this image? What's the so the chat with the file, and then here, this is the my study about the multimedia education. Write for example, the interview question, and here the tools you can see. One of them about research gap. One question just now about research gap. You can choose research gap from here and find the research gap. Anyway, I think I will stop here. I just wanted to show the real tools because I did not open the browser for a fast presentation. That's why I did not go through the browsers.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Alhamdulillah, we have had a truly engaging session today on behalf of the CPS team. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. Akram Muhammad Zaki for sharing his knowledge and insights with us. To all participants, thank you for your active involvement and thought-provoking questions. We hope you have gained valuable knowledge that can contribute to your academic and research endeavors. Lastly, please don't forget to fill in the feedback form, which is already shared in the chat box. Your feedback is crucial for empowering and improving our future sessions. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious. Inshallah. Wabillahi wa taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's turn on our cameras for the group photo. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more.
Maybe they are in the process of opening the camera. They need some time.
Yes. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kaga mai gidan da kansa. Alhamdulillah.